But all who reject Jesus Christ will go there one day, and your excuses will be over. Friend of mine, let me tell you something. Don't turn your nose up and say God's a good God and He's just going to save everybody. That's not true. He'll save those that call upon the name of His Son. Amen. Overheard two people on the television the other day were talking, and one was a guy who came out, and he's a black fella out of Oral Roberts University, who made the amazing discovery about 10 years ago that there wasn't any hell. And and the church he was ministering in, so-called ministering in, kicked him out, which is what they should have done. But now he's got this huge mega church that is all-inclusive and all embraces everything. And he's sitting there talking to this poor gullible woman, and he's saying to her, he said, this church I am now, they have embraced me, and they've arrived at the truth that there is no hell, and that there's no such thing as a lost person. And she said, well, sir, do you mean to tell me that no matter what you believe, you're okay, we're all going to end? He says exactly what I want to say, liar, 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 your hair's on fire. That is not right, brother. The Bible said we are children of God through faith in Jesus Christ. The Bible said, he that hath the Son hath life. He that hath not the Son of God hath not life. That's what the book said today. That's what we preached this morning. Excuses. Well, I thought God would save everybody. Wrong. And down in your hearts, you know better than that. Down in your heart, you know there is judgment for sin. God said there was. But we like that stuff. Well, it's okay. Believe what you want to. Or believe nothing at all. That's what he said. That we got folks come to church don't believe anything. Why would you even want to come to church if you didn't believe anything? Huh? I'd go smoke me a hooter about that long, get drunk. Huh? I would. I'd roll me up a big old, man, you couldn't make enough rolling paper, smoke a joint like that, and just get drunk as I could and have a big time. Yeah, why would you want to come to church? That is stupidity. That's foolishness. And that excuse will not hold up. God said it won't hold up. Excuses. He said so that they are without excuse. Didn't we read that this morning? Look at James chapter 4. James chapter 4. People say, Brother Dave, I'll get saved one of these days, but I got plenty of time. I got plenty of time. That's an excuse, but that's a lie. Verse 14 said, whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow. What is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and vanisheth away. For that you ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. There is no guarantee of tomorrow, neighbor. That's a lie the devil's told you. Look at the paper. Young people die every day. There have been young people killed this past week in car wrecks and things like that. Neighbor, their life is so fragile, it can be taken from you. And if you die without Christ, there is no second chance. Romans 14. So how's it all going to come out? What's the end of this thing? Well, right here it is. Right here it is. Romans chapter 14. Look down, please, in verse 11. Romans chapter 14. He said, For it is written, as I live, saith the Lord, every knee shall bow to me, every tongue shall confess to God, so that every one of you shall give an account of himself to God. Let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge this rather, that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way. Christian, that passage has to do with you and I. We're going to stand before God at the judgment seat of Christ one day, and that Bible said we're going to give an account to God, and there'll be no excuses on that day. And God said He's going to judge us if we put a stumbling block in our brother's way. How do you think? I would to God the people that could be here this morning and they're not here. We got some that's lazy and backslid and low down. I would to God they could understand how that discourages the rest of us. How did you see the church half empty and see the offering plates half empty and see people's hearts half empty and the services half empty? That's a stumbling block. And God said folk are going to give an account for it one day. I come to church to get encouraged, don't you? I come to church and try to encourage somebody. Revelation 20. Here's the end of it all for the lost man. And there's something missing in this passage. You'll readily say, you said, did God make a mistake? Oh, no, but it's there. It's missing on purpose. God wanted it to be missing. You'll see it. Revelation chapter 20. He said in verse 12, I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God. And the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. And the sea of the dead were in it, death and hell, the liver of the dead were in them. And they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell was cast in the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast in the lake of fire. After the word fire, there's a period. What's missing out of that passage? I'll tell you what's missing out of the passage. You do not find any record of God entertaining any excuses from anybody. There's no record. Somebody said, no, wait a minute, God, I wasn't that bad a sinner. I was an atheist, God. You knew I didn't believe. No. Silence before God. There are no excuses at the white throne judgment of God. I hear people say, well, I ran over that person because I was drunk. You think that's an excuse? They ought to hang you from the highest tree. Come on. I knew what I was doing. I was taking dope. I'm going to put you under the jail. Are you listening to me? We live on excuses in our society. Oh, nobody understands me. Yeah, that's the problem. We do understand each other. We know as Christians what we are and what we could have been. I'm going to tell you something, neighbor. Before God, one day, our excuses are going to be thrown out with the trash. Let's stand with our heads bowed and eyes closed. Let's tell them, would you come just play something softly, please, man? We're not going to sing. If you just play something softly, please. Our heads are bowed just a minute and our eyes are closed. I know the message has been a little harsh this morning, but I'm going to tell you something. We needed harsh today. We just need it.